Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders. Salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and sincerity. Lesson will be entitled, How? Video was inspired from the YouTube platform GMS South Carolina '08. This is the platform of Zaquan Manatazak. Subscribe and be edified. His video entitled IUIC Lucifer is not the USA. Lord will you are edified.
Have you ever heard a Christian say before that Satan was a choir director in heaven and one day him and God got into it and he ended up getting kicked out of heaven?
Let's cut that. Let's go to Job, the first chapter. Now, this account is going into the bet that Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, and Satan had regarding Job's integrity. Job 1:6. Now there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before Yahweh, and Satan came also among them. And the reason why Satan came among the sons of the Most High is because he is a son of the Most High. Verse 7. And Yahweh said unto Satan, Whence come you? Where you been? Then Satan answered Yahweh and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. So do you see the authority that the Most High has over Satan? He asked him, Where have you been? And Satan replied. And what did he say? From going to and fro in the earth, right? Now, after the Most High had presented this bet to Satan, what did he tell him? Verse 11. Salakia. Verse 12. And Yahweh said unto Satan, Behold, all that he has is in your power, meaning all the possessions of Job. Only on himself put not forth your hand, meaning don't kill him. So Satan went forth from the presence of Yahweh. Let me get another one too. This is Psalms 103 and 20. Bless Yahweh, you his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments, hearken unto the voice of his word. Satan is an angel of the Most High. So when you go into the book of Kings, Micah witnessed a council going on in the spiritual realm, and he said he saw angels on the right hand of the Most High, and he saw angels on the left hand of the Most High. So yes, Satan takes orders from the Most High. That's what makes him righteous. Okay, although he is a left-handed angel, he still does the bidding and the will of Yahweh and Yahushua. Period. So let's continue.
Is that biblical? Where do they get this from? Let's deal with that. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nation? So Christians use this verse to perpetuate the whole narrative.
And this is going into what? The elite or the nobility of Edom that control this entire system. So let's go into Romans, the 13th chapter. Let every spirit be subject unto the higher powers. Romans 13 and 1. For there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. So the powers that be, okay, the nobility of Edom are ordained of the Most High, right? So let's jump to Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Now, when you go to Malachi 1 and 4, that scripture classifies who is the wicked, which are the Edomites. So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covers the faces of the judges thereof. Hence, iconoclasm, which means what? To destroy the face of an image. And what does he do? Hence, whitewashing, or so-called whitewashing. So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covers the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Keep this in mind. So when we jump to Ephesians, the 6th chapter, and verse 12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, left-handed angels. And these left-handed angels, beginning with Satan, inspire and instruct and inform the nobility of Edom how to carry out the objectives for the attainment of the new world order. Okay? So Satan's physical counterpart on earth are the Edomites, beginning with their nobility. So again, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, left-handed angels, beginning with Satan, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Because these left-handed angels, okay, they are in the spiritual realm, and they continue and will always do the bidding of Yahweh and Yahushua. So when we jump to Isaiah, the 14th chapter, verse 12. Isaiah 14 and 12. How art you fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Heaven is symbolic for what? A dominion, a rulership. Going into the downfall of the nation of Edom. And their blessing, their rulership, their dominion being ended by the hand of Yahushua. So how art you fallen from heaven, out of rulership, out of power, O Lucifer? All Lucifer means is what? Light barrier. Okay? So you have Luciferians on the right hand, beginning with Yahushua, and you have Luciferians on the left hand, beginning with Satan. All right? And the prophets are righteous Luciferians. And the nobility of Edom are wicked Luciferians. Do you see the balance? Or Lucifer, which means what? Light barrier, based on what? Doctrine. Okay? Doctrine. They are enlightened by doctrine. We are enlightened by the word of the Most High. They are enlightened by the word of Satan. Okay? O Lucifer, son of the morning, how art you cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? I want to get to the point. Let's jump to verse 16. They that see you shall narrowly look on you and consider you, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble? Going back into what? Romans chapter 13 and 1. Going back into what? Job 9 and 24. Malachi 1 and 4. Verse 16. They that see you shall narrowly look on you and consider you, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdoms? Okay? So when we jump back to Isaiah 14 and 12, Lucifer is referring to who? The nobility of Edom.
Narrative of the war that took place in heaven with Satan and Satan losing and falling to the earth.
And that hasn't happened yet. This war in heaven hasn't happened yet, right? So let's go to war, heaven. We'll jump down to the book of Revelation, 12 and 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. Going into what? That rulership, their rulership. Okay? Their rulership. Now, when we analyze this, and there was war in heaven, this prophecy cannot happen until all prophecies are fulfilled. And we have two major prophecies going into what? The mark spoken of in Revelation, the 13th chapter, being mandated in WW3. And also, we must throw in what? The prophecy of Jacob's trouble. Okay, all of these events, all prophecies has to be fulfilled before the war in heaven. Now, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. The dragon is symbolic for who? The nation of Edom, beginning with their elite, their nobility. Okay, and when you research the dragon, right, according to Wikipedia, Draco, military standard. The Draco, dragon or serpent, was a military standard of the Roman cavalry, carried by the, what's this? Draconarius. Draconarius, the Draco was the standard of the cohort, as the eagle was that of the legion. Okay, so let's read that again. The Draco, dragon or serpent, was a military standard of the Roman cavalry, carried by the Draconarius. The Draco was the standard of the cohort, as the eagle was that of the legion. And when you watch Spartacus, I want to say the first season, when the pagan Rome Empire was taken over, you saw a dragon on a soldier's shield. Okay? That's what that means. Now, this dragon is symbolic for who? The Edomites. And also, per context of the scriptures, the dragon can represent the pagan Rome Empire. Okay? So, when you look at verse 9, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the world, the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. What is this talking about? Right? So, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, going back into what? Genesis, the 3rd chapter. Okay? That man was classified as a serpent, being crafty, having a keen sense and wickedness, called the devil and Satan. Now, the devil can be defined as an accuser, okay, and a deceiver. Satan can be defined as an adversary, which deceived the whole world. Now, how did this dragon deceive the entire world? Hence the Renaissance, okay? The Renaissance, when that dragon came back, okay? What did the scripture talks about, Salakia? What did the scripture states in the book of Daniel? How that deadly dragon's wound would be healed, okay? Meaning what? They would come back in power one more time. And if you can receive this in the spirit, the dragon, okay, is made up of really NATO, the EU, and America. All right? So, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. This is talking about what? This white man's military might. Okay? His military might. Now, his angels, Okay? Think about this. Think about his Air Force. Okay? Think about his Air Force. So again, when we think about this war in heaven, it has not taken place yet because all prophecies has not been fulfilled. So let's go to Second Ezra 13 and 31. And one shall overtake Slack, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another, the spiritual realm against the earthly realm. So this war in heaven is talking about this, the earthly realm against the spiritual realm. Okay, so the Edomites and their armies, okay, and Yahushua and his armies will fight. And according to the book of Revelation, the dragon and his angels will not prevail. So when Yahushua comes back, he's coming back in the midst of WW3. And so all of these Homo sapiens, okay, will stop fighting each other and join forces and fight Yahushua. Okay? Fulfilling the prophecy, one realm against another, that war in heaven. Period. So again, when we think about the dragon, we must associate the dragon to the pagan Rome Empire. Who are who? Edomites. They are Edomites. And this dragon came back reloaded. Rome came back reloaded through NATO and the EU and America. It's that simple.
But what is this actually talking about in context? Let's see. Let's go above in the same chapter to the 4th verse. Verse 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how have the oppressors ceased? The golden city ceased. So wait a minute. This chapter is talking about the king of Babylon. Let's get further proof. Let's stay in the same chapter and go to verse 16. It says, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee. The thee here is...
And I'm going to say this. Lucifer is not the USA. And to further prove that, let's go into the account of Luke, the 4th chapter. Right? And this is going into the account when Satan attempted Yahushua 3 times to sell out. And of course, Yahushua rebuked him 3 times, utilizing the scriptures, right? Now, this is the point. Luke 4 and 5. Well, you know what? Let's start at 4. And Yahushua answered him, saying, it is written that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word of the Most High. Verse 5, and the devil taking him up into an high mountain. Now, peep this. Showed unto him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. So Satan showed Yahushua all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time, utilizing a hologram format. Salakia, a hologram format. And guess what? Satan showed Yahushua America. Okay? He showed Yahushua America. America is a fucking kingdom. Right? So the people that run America, which are the nobility of Edom, they are inspired, controlled, and informed by Satan. And the devil, taking him up into an high mountain, showed unto him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. So yes, Yahushua saw America. He saw the Medo-Persian Empire. He saw the Babylonian Empire, the Assyrian Empire, the pagan Rome Empire. Okay? And again, he saw America. So he saw all these major kingdoms as well as America. So there's no way in hell that Lucifer can be the United States of America. Y'all niggas are some idiots. Oh, well, this was an edifying lesson. Shalom.